Welcome to the Hudson Show. Coming up, MrBeast and Logan Paul are teaming up. Also, love 'em or leave 'em over a Temu engagement ring. All that and more on the way next. It is the Hudson Show from listener-supported RadioU. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who donate to keep this podcast and all the RadioU does going strong. I thought this was so interesting. Plush Care, they're a health company. They just recently put out a study where they ranked basically all fast food restaurants, different menu items on which ones are the most and least healthy. And yes, the ones that are most healthy are still pretty unhealthy. But take a look at this. For cheeseburgers, for example, the most healthy options for cheeseburgers were from Culver's, surprisingly, and McDonald's. The least healthy, like the worst burger you could eat at a fast food restaurant, according to this study, was Five Guys, followed by Whataburger, came in at the top. They also did this for chicken sandwiches, where the most healthy option, McDonald's, the McChicken, also Dairy Queen came in near the healthier side, whereas Popeyes came in as the least healthy. They did this for nuggets, where Popeyes, yet again, the least healthy. The most healthy, McDonald's. Then when it comes to fries, we're back at Five Guys for the most unhealthy. The healthiest, In-N-Out, and McDonald's was there as well. What I want to take away from this is that, yet again, even the ones that are on the healthier side as far as this list goes are still very unhealthy. But if you could see this entire list of how they have these broken down, it is almost to a T, a stack ranking of which ones taste the best. There is a direct correlation between being the most unhealthy option you could get and being the best version of that option. So what I say all that to say this, that I just really feels like this proves my point. And that is, of course, not that you shouldn't eat healthy, not that we can't strive to have healthier lifestyles and get in better shape and whatnot. That's good to do most of the time. But I'm just tired of the lies that are told, that are like, you can eat great food and still be in shape. You can eat healthy food and it still tastes amazing. No, it does not. The more unhealthy a food is, the better it tastes. The healthier it is, the worse it tastes. It's pretty much across the board. And I think this study proves it. It's the Hudson Show. Do you think we could ever start doing this here in the United States? Single individuals in Spain have started ditching the dating apps and instead are flocking to the grocery store to try to find dates. And how they are doing it is by signaling that you're single with the groceries that you buy. And what seems to have directly stemmed off of something that supposedly swingers do. The upside down pineapple has become a symbol that you are single if you're at the grocery store in Spain. So, I mean, there's videos of people, tons of people that are clearly at the grocery store just looking for dates and clearing out the pineapple section where they'll take their cart and you put this upside down. It has to be a whole pineapple. Cans of pineapple don't count. And you put the upside down pineapple in your cart. And then that's kind of a sign like, hey, I'm here. Like, yeah, I need some food. But really what I want to find is somebody to love, which, by the way, I think maybe this has to have led to some disappointed swingers. They're like, oh, you're just an individual. Darn, fiddlesticks. But I think it's a good idea. I'll tell you why. Because I just did not like, when I was single, I didn't like the idea that, like, you just never know. You never know if somebody, like, are they kind of like being nice but they have a boyfriend, or like, do they actually, like, are they, like, you just never know. And so this just kind of makes it clear you're only going to have an upside down pineapple if you actually are signaling to somebody else that you want, that you're open. I guess it could make the rejection all that more painful, though. If you know that they're there for that, like, oh no, upside down must be a mistake. Let me flip that over. And you see him reflip it over again once you're out of sight. And I'm glad I'm not single anymore. I also hate pineapple. What a fun weekend of college football. It wasn't exactly a stacked slate of games, but what we did get was a bunch of upsets and teams that got paid to pull off upsets. For example, Toledo was invited to go play at Mississippi State. They were going into the SEC country. And what's crazy about Toledo is not only did they get paid by Mississippi State to go ahead and upset them big time. I mean, they won by like 30 points. They got paid over $1 million to play in Mississippi State, but they also, what's crazy is they got paid to open up this weekend, to open up the game against Mississippi State. They got paid by Maryland because they initially had a game scheduled against Maryland that Maryland backed out of and rescheduled for 2029. So Maryland paid them about $500,000 to not play Maryland this week and instead play Mississippi State. So all in all, Toledo up almost $2 million and with a big win to show for it. Of course, Florida State, a similar situation as they paid Memphis to keep Florida State, who went undefeated last year, winless this year. Some other college football highlights over the weekend. Can we again acknowledge that Dylan Raiola's cosplay of Patrick Mahomes is getting out of control? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Why is he doing this? It's not like generic. If you don't know, like, he looks like Patrick Mahomes. And then before the game, he does like a pregame ritual that is almost exactly, if not exactly, what Patrick Mahomes does before his games. It's not, it's like if he was going out there and doing the chalk toss like LeBron. Like, what are you doing, man? It's just, it's kind of, we're all kind of uncomfortable about this at this point. And finally, Texas now number 1 in the poll. And that they lose Quinn Ewers. He gets injured. Their Heisman favorite quarterback, and they don't miss a beat because, well, they've got Arch Manning backing him up. So who knows what can slow down Texas at this point. What a weekend of college football. So much fun, even on a lighter switch. Back again, we have Nikki. The last time we talked, Nikki, we were talking about how you were getting very excited to go to a place called Famous Dave's. And so now you've been and gone and done it, and we need a report.
Yep. Well, I was excited because you told me you'd been there before when you were younger.
Yeah.
And if you've ever gone to, I guess it's not just Costco, but that's the only place I've had the Famous Dave's pickles, like in these big jars. I was excited to try the pickles, but then Eric told me, I guess it's like a barbecue place as well.
Yeah.
So we went for his birthday, and let me tell you, the pickles did not disappoint.
Yes.
Yay, pickles.
It was so crazy. You showed me like a picture of that. I've never seen those pickles in my life before, even though I've been to the restaurant.
Oh, they were so good. So like I got the appetizer of the deep fried pickles. And you know, a lot of times, I know you said you're not like a pickle person all the time, but if you get an appetizer of deep fried pickles, it's kind of like they get mushy really fast, and then the deep fried around it, and then the pickles underneath. Mm-hmm. This was more like seasoning on top of pickles.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was really coated with a batter as much.
Like, I think they did definitely deep fry it, but it was just so light. It was like seasoning, and I kept eating them, and Eric's like, I think it's just mostly brown sugar. So I was like, that's probably why, but they were so delicious. I really liked them.
Well, I'm glad that delivered on expectations. What about all the other stuff you got? Was it as good as?
Well, we got a platter for 2. So we got brisket, baked beans, which I don't really do, cornbread, fries, chicken, and what else was there? Oh, ribs. Those were really good too. Like,
yeah, I think that
was good. I really enjoyed it. Yep.
This sounds almost like an ad for Famous Dave's. We don't do ads here, but this is about as close as it gets.
It's not an ad. It's just about pickles, okay? And the brisket was good, and the ribs were really good too. But I really enjoyed it. It's like an hour drive for me, so I'm not sure when I'll go back, but it was worth it if they could deliver. Yeah, I pay a lot.
Now you have to be on the lookout for more Famous Dave's stuff that you can get at the store, because I know they sell other stuff, but I don't know if they sell ribs.
Okay, the restaurant, I know you said the one near you closed down when you were younger.
Yeah.
This one wasn't as crowded anymore. And you know, like there's signs where people just don't go to expensive barbecue places.
Yeah.
I feel like the writing's on the wall that it might not be around forever. We shall see.
Well, Nikki, then it's your responsibility. You need to go and make sure that Famous Dave stays in business. You need to go every week.
Step up. You know me, I'm very much not someone who brings anything up. Like, I'd rather just sit there and like, the food was great. The waitress and the people were so nice. but like there was cleaning stuff you could tell on the walls, like it looked like spray that was just left there.
Oh no, yeah. I know it's exactly.
And it was in my line of vision as I ate, and I was like, it really needs, like, it was a big, huge thing. And then I went to go use the restroom, and you know, and sometimes restaurant bathrooms, they just hose down the bathroom and then just let it dry. Mm-hmm. Well, that's in Florida, you don't do that in Florida, because what happens in Florida with the humidity?
It just stays in there, it gets all sticky.
And there's an M word. Any idea what it is?
Oh, mildew. Yeah,
I think it was mold. Like, I think there was mold on the bathroom stall door. I think it was mold.
No,
I do.
At least the bathroom and the food preparation area are far, far away. And also you couldn't see the food preparation area, which is probably for the best.
And it was hard because I went to the bathroom after I ate. So it's like, I didn't know about that potential problem, but I went out to Eric and I was like, I think that's mold, but I just held my breath and I just walked out. It's fine.
I mean, if the food tastes good and it's been, well, I mean, you've had some time now. If you were going to get sick, it would have happened. So I think you're good.
And I think most restaurants have an issue here or there anyways. Yeah, no restaurants care anymore. But it was good. I really liked it.
To the, whatever the federal safety guidelines are. They just can't be expected to meet all of them.
I would give the food an A, but if I was talking like cleanliness and like, yes, the table was sticky, I'd probably give it like a C.
I've got one more question for you, and that is, you've done Jollibee now. You've done Famous Dave's. What's the next restaurant we're going to be talking about that you are going to go visit?
The one that
Doesn't
I
this feel like a
miss
band interview? Like, you put out so much music. What's next for you? You've gone to so many restaurants, Nikki. What's next for you?
It's like I'm an artist. Oh, I love it. What was the one that Dave's Hot Chicken. I used to eat all the time back when I lived at RadioU. I'm like an hour and a half away, but I keep seeing ads for it. Like, they think I'm closer, and I really miss Famous Dave's, or not Famous Dave's, but the other Dave's. I think I might go there.
Okay, Dave's Hot Chicken. Then maybe after you do that, you do Dave and Buster's, and then find another Dave.
Listen, I know Dave and Buster's is not getting any good scores, so I'm not going back there.
It's the Hudson Show.
But if anybody has any suggestions, let me know.
What an unpredictable league the NFL is. Who would have thought that yesterday the Las Vegas Raiders would upset the Baltimore Ravens? Ravens 0-2. Is that the worst loss of the weekend in the NFL? It might be, because I'll give the Rams a pass. They got blown out by the Cardinals, but they have a lot of injuries. Well, we'll give them a week. Also, talking about bad losses, did you see when Josh Myers of the Packers lost it? He threw up when he was about to hike the ball, and yet manages to still hike the ball and protect Malik Willis. That was a proud Packers moment for me, seeing Josh Myers. He just threw up while he was on the offensive line. They didn't call a timeout. He didn't phone it in on the play. He just picked it up. And I don't even think he came out of the game at all. That is a man. Oh, yeah. Bad losses. What happened to the Cowboys yesterday? I asked NayNay to come in early and talk about the game, his reactions. He has not responded yet. So, 44-19. Dak Prescott earning that payday that he got last week. It's our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters, and talking about what we have seen lately here on the Hudson Show. I'll tell you, not the best week for the box office overall, but it was still another good week for Beetlejuice, which made another $51 million. That's good enough to get it to number one by a long shot this weekend. If you've seen it, let me know at 8772-RadioU. Number two, the top new release of the weekend, Speak No Evil, which made a little over $11 million over the weekend. Not too shabby. Shout out to the director of Speak No Evil. His name is James Watkins. In a recent interview, he said that a lot of times the trailers for movies show more than the directors want. He says directors would like trailers to show off less of films. And then the studio goes, well, yeah, but then no one's going to see your movie. I understand the struggle with that. Like in a movie like Speak No Evil, you have to make the trailer good enough to get people's attention. The problem is when it's like Deadpool and Wolverine and we're showing a lot in the trailer. We need to maybe dial it back on that a bit. But to be fair, though, speak no evil. In the trailer, there's a fairly major spoiler that they show in the trailer that maybe you could have not done that and the movie would have more impact and maybe better word of mouth because people would be like, I couldn't believe that part that they didn't see in the trailer that they did see in the movie. But still, nevertheless, Speak No Evil comes in at number 2. Number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, the aforementioned, which made another $5 million. It's been out for 8 weeks. It's still in the top 3 in the box office. That is absolutely crazy. Let me know what you saw at 8772 RadioU. I watched one of the biggest movies of 2023, Barbie. I rewatched it. I remember thinking, and I remember saying when I watched Barbie in theaters last year, thinking, okay, now that I've seen it once, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. It wasn't quite like as funny as I hoped and whatever. Like it was hard to process, I feel, the first time through. And I thought maybe, a year down the line, we'll see how we feel about it then. And what I found was that it is very funny. I think I might have thought it was funnier the second time through watching. But what I have a tough time with, what is frustrating about it to me, is the difference between the funniness and then like the times where it screeches to a halt and it's like, let's talk about how women are great. And they are. But I just, a lot of the jokes that are at guys' expense, it's very subtle. It's very, like it's funny, but it also skewers just the society and guys in general. And then, but the flip side is for women, it's like they just get so serious with all of it. It's like, thanks for coming to my TED Talk about how women are great. And yet again, the problem isn't the message. The problem is they're very subtle and like they just found ways to make it fun, to make fun of guys. Why can't it be fun to pump women up instead of being so serious is all I find. That there's just a big gap between the tone throughout the movie. And I wish it was more fun throughout. If you're excited to hear this, we are down to 99 days until Christmas time. Yeah, 99 days until Christmas itself. And this is shocking to me, though. A new survey has come out that says that 25%, like 1 in 4 people, have already started on their Christmas shopping. 1 in 4 people, a quarter of people have already started their Christmas shopping. And that has me worried. Does that mean I should have made my Christmas list by now? Should I make my wish list today? Because I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea because Christmas is 99 days away. That means the stuff I put on my list today, either I'm not going to want it anymore because who I am is going to be completely different in 99 days. Who I am will be different tomorrow. The things I want 99 days from now, you kidding me? And also 99 days from now, the stuff that I put on my Christmas wish list, if I really want it, I probably have bought it for myself by then because I have that kind of money. It's too early to start Christmas shopping. I'm telling you right now, although it's not too early to get excited and maybe even play some Christmas music. It is useless knowledge time here on the Hudson Show. Talking about Smithsonian Day. That is today. In the past, up until last year, you could have gotten into some museums for free today, but they don't do that anymore for some reason. But we're still celebrating Smithsonian Day. So the history is James Smithson was a British scientist who donated his estate to the United States. Once he did that, the U.S. Senate passed an act to endorse the Smithsonian Institution, which was signed into law by which president? Many good guesses coming in, although, many of them are wrong, like McKinley, Wilson, and Eisenhower, all incorrect and all quite at least a bit too recent. The Smithsonian Institution Act was signed in 1846, and we all know, of course, right, who the president was in 1846. As we all know, James K. Polk. We'll give credit to Montana for being the first one to get this one right. And Montana, what a cool name. That is actually awesome. Speaking of the Smithsonian, do you care? James Smithson, the guy we're talking about here, who donated his estate to the United States, that what became the Smithsonian Institution. He never set foot in the United States. Never actually came here. Well, I should clarify. He never came here while he was alive, but now his body actually has been preserved and rests in the Smithsonian Museum. So crazy how he got all the animals to come to life at night. That still boggles my mind. MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI. What do they all have in common? They're all popular YouTubers, and they're all getting together to put out something called Lunchables. That's right. Popular wrestler Logan Paul is gearing up for what seems to be one of the most difficult matches of his life. A tag team battle with the help of MrBeast and KSI. Their opponent, Lunchables. KSI, Logan Paul, and MrBeast to put out something called Lunchables, which is basically Lunchables, except that it features a Feastables chocolate bar, of course, and a Prime Energy drink in every package, as well as then you can choose between the flavors, turkey stack'ems, pizza, or Fiesta nachos. Logan Paul said in a statement, our end game has always been to not only provide high quality products, but also healthier alternatives. That's why we're entering the lunch grab and go market. It's been dominated by Lunchables since we were kids ourselves, and it's time to provide a better option for those looking for convenient, healthier choices. Wow. Lunchables didn't ask for any of this. This is crazy. I thought we were all cool with Lunchables. At least we were when we were kids, but now I guess it's not good enough anymore. Now that the YouTubers are getting into the ring. The question is, when you were 8 years old, if you could have taken your parents' car anywhere, where would you have gone? 8772 RadioU. Sophia says the zoo. That's feel like a good choice for many children. Ethan says Chuck E. Cheese's. That's an interesting option, but I mean, it makes sense. We also heard from Regina, who says the library. We had a pretty cool library and librarians, and I loved books. You might be in the minority there, but then again, I don't know if the Pizza Hut Book It was an option. Jaden says I'd go to the nearest candy store. Ava says Disney World. Now that makes sense, but that for many of us would have been a long drive. Let's see. Susanna talking about if you were 8 years old, you could have stolen your parents' car and gotten away with it. Where would you take it? She says probably just a friend's house or Taco Bell. Mia says probably my grandma's house. Now that feels like more. My grandparents live far away, but I feel like that at 8 years old, that might have been where my head was at. And then Mickey said 8-year-old me probably would have gone to the local movie or game place to get some Nintendo games or maybe stop by Sonic for a burger. I like all of that. All of our answers, though, are, well, they're not wrong, but they're not what an 8-year-old girl in the Cleveland, Ohio area did this weekend. She took her parents' car, 8 years old, on a trip to Target, which I totally respect. I totally get it. When I was 8 years old, I loved Target a lot too. I still love Target now. What's crazy is where they, like, from where she was to where the Target was that she was found at, she drove like 25 minutes and didn't get into any accidents. She did strike a mailbox, but other than that, 8 years old, she went on like a half-hour trip to Target. That is impressive. And what's even crazier is once she was caught, she's 8 years old. The police say she's too young to charge criminally. So she's not, in the eyes of the law, she's getting off scot-free. I mean, her parents can punish her, but I mean, at 8 years old, is time out probably worth it to take a trip to Target? Feels like it to me. Hello, NayNay. Are you ready for a food fight?
I've been ready, my brother. Listen, here's what we need to do. You need to set the table and let me know what I'm about to be eating. Because if it's going to be anything spicy, you know I'm going to be whining about it.
I know. That's why this time it's not anything spicy. In fact, it's not even really a secret. You can look with your own eyes and see what we have in front of us. But for those listening, of course, I will explain that we have the Coca-Cola flavored Oreos, and
we got Coke Oreos before GTA 6.
The Oreos flavored Coke Zero.
You ever had Coke Zero before? Like just regular Coke Zero?
Oh, I prefer it.
Do you really? It tastes like nothing to me.
I don't know if I prefer it, but that's just what I'm used to drinking.
I mean, if we're talking about what we prefer, I don't prefer Coca-Cola at all. But listen, if it's like Coca-Cola, that was Coca-Cola Zero, I'm definitely taking like the regular.
Yeah, I remember when I was a child.
Okay. Okay, listen. The original's the original for a reason. They make Coke Zero to make you feel good inside.
Yeah, but then they found a way to make Coke and all the things you love about it except without the calories. And so I'm a fan of that.
Okay, well, I just want the Oreos.
I just like to stay in shape is all.
All right, so this Coca-Cola Zero right here, can I pull it up to the camera? Look at it. I love the packaging. I love the outside of this can because it's all black. If you know anything about me, you know all I do is just wear all black. Look at this, guys. Incredible. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of the best things you can do when you open up a new Coke can. You got to get the little wait. Oh, wait. I got to hold it up to it.
There you go.
Oh, that's one of the best sounds ever. Okay, so now we're going to do the pour. Look at that sucker. Okay. Watch this just taste bad. Coca-Cola Zero.
I was a step ahead of you. I was prepared. I had already poured it. And I think it tastes a lot like vanilla Coke.
Mid. This is mid.
I like it. It's like vanilla Coke with like a little... little something.
I gave it 2 sips. It's mid. Oreo. Now, here's what I'll say. I'm very impressed with the way that they did this Oreo. Yeah, I mean, just think about any other Oreo. You got the black side, the cream, and then another black side. But the branding of this is so cool. If you hold it up, you can see the little Coke bottles on the red side of the cookie. So there's the black side of the cookie that has the Oreo, which we all know Oreo by. But also, it's got the red side that's got the... Oh, this is incredible. And a really good amount of filling in the middle, too. I'm super impressed. Like, now, it's not on the same lines of double stuff. Double stuff is different. Or mega stuff. The mega stuff, that's different. But I'm going to go ahead and try this one and see what it's all about.
I thought it was supposed to have like pop candy in it. I thought.
This is Coca-Cola, not pop. Pop rocks.
Doesn't it kind of taste like, can I say this? Doesn't it kind of taste like a knockoff Oreo?
It actually kind of does taste. I do taste the Coke, though.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive for a cookie to taste like something that's always been a drink. That's really cool. I like the design of this. Me personally, I think this is one of the coolest Oreos that we have ever tried, just in like look-wise. Taste-wise, it's all right. Like, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
If it was at like a house party or something, or I'm going over for someone's birthday, I'd be like, sure. I'd try it if it's on the table, but I'm not getting any more than like 2 or 3 of them.
You know what we gotta do to really take this to the next level?
Oh my goodness, you're not gonna do this, are you?
I'm gonna dip the Coke Oreo in the Oreo Coke. Here we go.
Watch it.
I mean, this is the ultimate thing you have to do.
It doesn't make 2 mid things taste perfectly great. It just makes 2 mid things taste bad.
It just makes one.
Oh, I lost some of the cookie inside the drink. Oh, no. Okay.
This definitely doesn't improve either one.
Oh, dear God. It does not improve this at all.
It kind of makes it soggy.
It's just a soggy version of mid. All in all, out of 10, like realistically, I'm probably giving this a 6 out of 10.
All in all, I give the Oreo Coke a 0.
Stop, dude. Stop.
So love them or leave them on the Hudson Show. Whenever you run into a relationship issue, you know where to turn. Me and the helpful RadioU family, we're ready to offer up some advice. This one is tough. I had to reread this one a couple times to make sure, like, is this real? A gal says, my fiance proposed a few weeks ago. It completely caught me by surprise, but we've been together for 3 years and things have been going great. I was really excited and said yes. At first, I really liked the ring, and my friends and family think it's stunning. Although, somebody really going to be like, well, it's okay. It's an oval cut with diamonds along the band. When I asked where he got it, he wouldn't tell me, but said he got a great deal. Red flag. there's two things you don't want a great deal on: surgery and a engagement ring. I didn't think much of it until recently when I asked him if it was diamond or moissanite, and he said he didn't know. He supposedly spent a lot of money on this. You'd think he'd know. He said he didn't know and he'd have to look it up. When I glanced at his phone, I saw that he was in the Temu app. I asked if he brought it from there and he did not respond. When I asked again, he said, "Does it matter?" and left. I've been so confused. Today, I downloaded the app and found my ring listed at $38. I'm mad. He makes good money, and I feel like he could have spent more on a ring than one from Temu. What should I do? Y'all, we got a guy who got, let's just be clear, he bought an engagement ring from Temu, but until she found out that that's what he did, she liked it, and so did supposedly everyone else she knows. What do we do? They've been together for 3 years. They were happy. Everything was great until she asked, where did the ring come from? And found out that he got it on Temu. Temu. I don't know how you say it. I don't even think Temu knows how to say it. And I don't think they care because we just keep buying stuff from them. But Temu engagement ring, $38. What should this woman do? Some good responses coming in. Like Jake, who says, normally I'd celebrate someone who didn't buy into all of the engagement, wedding, spend yourself to bankruptcy thing, but $38, I'd at least spend a little more than that to get a band that was reasonably high karat gold and then save on the gemstones. Okay. We also have Lily, who says, I don't care about how expensive a ring is, but the point of it is it's going to last. So buying it from Temu of all places is the worst. That's an excellent point. It's not even the money. It's just how long is this ring actually going to work? If he really did his research, here we go. We got we've got Megan here, who says, I was with my ex for 15 months and he bought me multiple rings, not engagement rings, off of Temu. Not one lasted longer than a month. All turned my finger green or gave me a rash. She goes on, but this is not where you want to be getting your jewelry. Temu may be fine for some things. It's not fine for jewelry, and it's not fine for an engagement ring. Hunter says $38. Here's the thing. If your man thought that there was nothing wrong with this, he would have told you where he got it up front. When you asked, the fact that he wouldn't tell you tells me that he knows he screwed up. And finally, can we address this too? She says he makes good money. What if the actual problem is he doesn't make as much as she thinks, or he's like really bad with money? I know you've been together for 3 years. Look, this needs a conversation. You are not wrong to be mad about getting a $38 engagement ring. It is tough because what if you never found out? Let's say the ring, Temu, let's say the quality holds up. It doesn't turn your finger green. It doesn't disintegrate. You would be happy with it, but we can't bank on that. And now that the cat's out of the bag, conversations need to be had. And he's got to answer for this. Do it delicately, but I don't like this. It's hard to say leave him after you just got engaged over an engagement ring. And normally I would never say that, but this is close. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.